Hey everyone, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we're going to look into HTML lists. We're going to see the different type of HTML listing we have, like unordered list, description list, and even nesting list, nesting ordered list, nesting unordered list, and nesting descriptive list, right? In our last class, we talked about formatting and we saw different elements that we can use to actually define a text or give more meaning to a text, from bold, which is B element, strong element, M element, I element, U element for underline, mark element, big element to make a text big, small element to make a text smaller, delete element, insert, and so on and so forth. And if you haven't seen that video, please make sure you go back to our last class and watch it. It's very important. And if you are coming across our page for the first time, you're welcome to Code with Chris. This channel or page is dedicated in teaching web development from scratch for free. So whether you're a total beginner or someone looking to sharpen your skills in web development, this channel is the right channel for you. So I urge you to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified whenever new video drops. And also don't forget to follow us across other platforms like Facebook and TikTok at the same handle, Code with Christ. I promise you this channel or page is going to be very invaluable to you. You are going to learn a lot from this page, right? So now today we are going to look into HTML lists, right? We have different types of listing formats in HTML, so we are going to see them one after the other. All right, so for this class we are going to be creating a new file. You already know how to do that. You right click and then you see new file. So I'm going to name it lists and then .html. Remember, it must end with HTML in order for it to be recognized as HTML file. So now the first thing to do is to bring out our boilerplate or HTML skeleton, right, which is Shift 1, or you type HTML and then you pick HTML5, right? Okay, so now one of the first things we are going to do, all right, is I want to also show us what comment means, commenting in our HTML file or even every other programming language, right? What is comment? What does comment means, right? Now when you hear about comment, I can say comment on this line of code and all of that. So a comment in HTML is a piece of text written inside your HTML code that is not displayed in the browser. So it's meant for humans like you, developer, designer or teacher, not for the web, not the one that should display in the web. So comments are used to explain a code. You could use comments to explain your code or make notes on a code, so that in the future when you come across that code you will remember, okay, this is what the code is meant for, right? It's also used for temporarily disable part of a code. You can decide to disable part of a code temporarily, right? And then maybe later you also enable it and all of that. So you can also, it's used for organizing large files into section, and it can also be used to remind yourself or others why something was written a certain way. There are some code, in fact, for you to achieve one particular stuff, you could use different ways. You can write your code in different ways, right? A lot of people, the way a senior developer writes his code is not the same way a junior developer writes his own code. And sometimes even a junior developer can decide to write it in this way, but then you can use comments to actually highlight why you wrote it in this manner, instead of this manner, right? It makes you, it refresh your mind, to ease confusion and the rest of them. So what that is the purpose of comments. So let's take, for instance, I have h1 H element, right? I say this is a heading, right? Now if I should run this in my browser, if I go live, If I go live, you can see this is a heading, right? So now I can comment on this. And how do you comment? You comment by what? You highlight and then you do control slash, control slash. So you see, find out that this thing that was showing in the browser will automatically not show in the browser. Is still loading, we automatically not show the browser again. So that is how you can comment. So comment can be used to, explain a code, a line of code, explain, for future reference of a code, right? And all of that. So it makes you to be, you know how to, you can update your code and maintain your code and all of that, right? So now back to our class. We are dealing with HTML lists proper, right? So now lists are fundamentals for structuring content on the web. They are fundamentals for structuring contents in the web. And a list groups related items. HTML provides semantic elements, so browsers, search engines, and assertive text understand the relationship between items. We use lists whenever you have multiple related items like navigation bar or navigation menu. You are talking about steps, ingredients, definitions, and the rest of them. And we have three main list types. We have unordered lists. We have unordered lists. And unordered lists represents a collection of items where order does not matter. Order does not matter, right? And it's by default, it's usually listed with bulleted list, right? Bulleted list. And you can actually change it, to, we have other list type for unordered list, like dix, we have circle, we have square, and the rest of them. So now the second one, we have ordered lists. Ordered list is an ordered list. An ordered list represents a sequence where order matters, right? Where order matters, ranging from one, you can count from one, two, three, and the rest of them, right? And by default, it's usually one, two, and so on and so forth. And then you can actually change it to order list type. We have um order list type, like numeric, alphabet, and the rest of them, right? So now for ordered lists, we have something like, we have attributes that we can actually use, something like start. Now start attribute is used to set the starting number for ordered lists. And then we also have reverse is used to display numbering in descending order, either from new to old, from 1 to 10, and the rest of them. We have type. Type can be used to change marker, style, like legacy, and the rest of them. So that is it. As time goes on, as we will be seeing their examples, and you will understand what they do and all of that. So now the last type of list, we have description list or descriptive list. It is used for definition list, right? A name value or term descriptive or description pair. Good for, it's usually good for groceries, meta list data, key pair, value, and the rest of them, right? You could use it for meta list, you could use it for definition. Let's say you are talking about full meaning of HTML, you could use descriptive list to actually give us the full meaning of HTML, right? So now we also have nested lists. All these type of lists, all the types of lists we have can actually be nested. What does it mean to be nested? A list can be nested inside another list. We can have a list, bunch of lists inside another list. That it means, what it means to nest list is to have a list inside another list, right? So that is it for HTML list and what nesting, right? So now we are going to be starting from unordered lists, right? So now, okay, so let's have h2 h2, let me name this unordered list. Unordered lists. And then the elements used in writing unordered list is ul. ul represents unordered list. ul. So now this is the first element for unordered list, ul. All right. We have li, which is now the list. This is where you now get to list. Every of your list must be enclosed with the particular list type, list, unordered list, and all of that. So now, which is ul means unordered list, right? And then li means the list, right? So let me say I'm listing, um, you know, fruits, right? I can have apples, all right, and then next list I can have oranges. Next list I can have bananas, right? Next list have mangoes, all right? So next list I can have pears, right? So now in our browser we'll find out that we have a list, on other list, which has by default it has a bulleted point, right? Mangoes, oranges. Let me increase my browser. All right, so I have apples, oranges, and all of that. So this is what unordered list, right? So now next example we are going to see is nested unordered lists. Unordered lists can actually be nested, right? All the list type can actually be nested, right? So all right, so for nested, let me have h2. So I say nested on unordered lists. All right, so now first of all, I have my ul, right? So have my ul and then have my list. This one is the first list we want to nest. So let's take, for instance, I want to list under this one, I want to list fruits, right? So now inside it I'm going to have ul again, right? And inside it I have li, which I will now go ahead and list the types of fruits we have, right? Okay, like bananas, grapes, all right, apples, mangoes, all right. So now this is in my browser. Let me reload. All right, you find out that I have my first list, which is what? Fruits. And under fruits I have mangoes, grapes, apples, and the rest of them, right? So then I can have another list. I can have another list which could be vegetables, right? So inside it, I go ahead and list vegetables, like carrots, carrots, you know, cucumber, and maybe spinach. Okay, and spinach. All right, so okay, sorry, I made a mistake. I ought to have UL first of all before listing them. So you can see, don't make this type of mistake. So let me format my document, okay, so that the list will be beneath vegetables. So under vegetables, I have cucumber, carrots, spinach, and the rest of them, right? So now I can still have another list, you know, maybe um, phones, different phones, phone brand, right? Okay, so I can have my UL, right? So I can have inside UL I have LI, can have my iPhone, I have LI, okay, so I have my Samsung, right? LI, I have what, Vivo, right? So you can see under phone I have different phone, okay, let me refresh. So under phone, I have different phone brand like iPhone, Samsung, and the rest. So that is it for unordered list. In our next class, we are going to talk about ordered lists. I don't want our video to be too long. So if you are coming across our page for the first time, don't forget to comment, like, share, and also follow us. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye. Anticipate next video.